Okay, so let me tell you something. God is not just going to come and use you for mahala, for free, and without you having paid the price of showing that you are also serious about moving with God. Many people just say, I don't know, this name it, claim it gospel that came, touch it, lay hands on it and it's yours. Gospel made it seem as if God does not have a demand on our lives. He says, offer your body as a living sacrifice for him to use you, for him to use us, for him to use me. He needs an offering on the table. Now look at verse 25. Now it came to pass the same night. He was on the roll here. The Lord has just decided to spend the full day with Gideon. Now it came to pass the same night that the Lord said to him, take your father's young bull and the second bull of 7 years old, and tear down the altar of Baal that your father has, and cut down the wooden image that is beside it, and build on an altar to the Lord your God on top of this rock in the proper arrangement, and take the second bull and offer a burnt offering with the wood of the image you shall cut down. So Gideon took 10 men among his servants. He's the least among the family, but he has got 10 servants. Interesting. And did as the Lord had said to him, but because he feared his father's household and the men of the city too much to do it by day, he did it by night. Okay, so God gives him an instruction to go and pull down a god that is worshipped by his father. But because he fears the community, and he fears the dead and what they will say, he does it by night. Doesn't it remind you of Nicodemus? Doesn't it remind you of Nicodemus, who comes to the Lord at night because he feared that the other Pharisees and the Jews would say, why are you going to that guy? But he understood where the grace now lay. And God is going to make demands on you. If you are shy to do them in the morning, during the daytime, please do it by night. Do it by night, as long as you are going to perform that assignment that God has set on your life, servant of God. Please don't hold back because of fear of people. Don't count the days. Don't procrastinate because you're thinking you're looking for the right time. That very night, God came and said, get rid of the god of your father Baal, and use that Asherah pole that they used to worship it, and burn it and use it for firewood to make an altar for God. And I'm seeing that it's a trend of God, that he wants to separate us from what we are used to, from what our parents have taught us before he can use us. Remember, he did that with Abraham in Genesis chapter 12. He first pulled him out of his family before he could use him and grow him and make him such a great man. Now, in the next verse, we see in the morning people wake up and they find that the altar of Baal has been pulled down, and they go to Joash, Gideon's father, and they're saying, bring your son outside. We want to sort him out because he has pulled down the altar of Baal. Isn't it amazing how the father responds? He says, Gideon, the son of Joash, and then they say, bring your son, verse 30, and then verse 31. But Joash said to all who stood against him, would you plead for Baal? Would you save him? Let the one who would plead for him be put to death by morning. If he is a god, let him plead for himself, because his altar has been torn down. Let Baal plead against him, because he has torn the altar down. Now he says, hey, if Baal is really truly a god, I think this man had now decided to connect and remember that there's a true God, and he then decides to be on his son's side by God's grace. I'm sure the angel of the Lord began to whisper words for him to say, let Baal come and fight for himself. If he's truly God, let him fight for himself. Why are you the ones who are fighting for him? And on that day, we see that the young man who now gets a new name from that day on. You are going to get a new name according to the victories that you have won on behalf of the kingdom of God. He is now called Jerubbaal, because they said, let Baal plead against him because he has torn down his altar. And Gideon gets a new name from that day. You are going to get a new name because of the victories that you're going to win for the kingdom of God in this year. Victorious is going to be your name. Conqueror is going to be your name. I don't know what you're going to do, but your name must change this year.